Hey everybody, my name's Neil. Welcome to Post to Post, and welcome to the most wild, ghost-like, ghoulish, crazy, mythical creature beast video I've ever done. We're doing the Haunted NHL, and Marissa has gone through the entire NHL, including the Seattle Kraken. And if you think about Kraken, they're a mythical creature, so this is totally in line, kind of based on them, and she's gone through the entire NHL. She's looked at all the teams, she's done research on all the cities, and totally redesigned the entire NHL based on what those teams could use as inspiration for new team names based on some of the haunted history around the cities, or close to the cities. So this is a really neat exercise if you like aliens, ghosts, just mythical creatures, and all that stuff in general. You're going to find this video very interesting because I have ranked these, although I don't think the ranking really matters here. I'm going to go through them in my ranking order, but I'm going to read her explanation for every single team. And I want you guys to take the opportunity down below in the comment section to tell me which ones you liked, maybe which ones you didn't like, which ones would actually work in the NHL. I love stuff like this. When people come up with ideas like this, coming up with new teams, you know, sometimes I have contests to get people excited about maybe creation and designing and stuff. And a lot of the contests are, you know, create this team from scratch, and because I really like those. She's done that times 32. Like, she's got 32 new teams here, I guess, other than Seattle, but still 31 new teams. And some of these are incredible. And she's using sports templates to create these. So Sports Templates is a site, sportstemplates.net. You can go there, you can buy the template for these actual jerseys, where you can design your own jerseys. And if you want to save 10%, you can use code post to post. Save yourself some money, and you guys can come up with some of the designs that you have been floating in your head for maybe months or years. Maybe you've always really wanted to redesign the Philadelphia Flyers jersey. You can do that with sports templates. And maybe you're not into jerseys, maybe you're into helmets or sweaters or whatever you're into. There's all kinds of templates on sportstemplates.net. And like I said, save yourself 10% and use code post to post. All right, let's get into this. We're going to start off in reverse order, least favorite to favorite, although honestly, all of these are pretty incredible, so there's not really any least favorite here. But we'll start with number 32. I've put Ottawa. Now, I will apologize. There's going to be a bit of an awkward edit for all of these because the order that I have the document in, she's listed all the descriptions, isn't the same order I have my rankings in, so there's going to be a couple of cuts probably, so I apologize for that in advance. But we've got the Ottawa Senators here, and wild. When I first saw this, without knowing what team it was, I thought it was Carolina, and but then after I read it, and it made more sense. So I'm going to read it to you guys. I'm going to read you the story behind this crazy jersey. So an underwater panther called Mishipeshu, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, which translate into the Great Lynx. Some traditions believe them to be helpful, protective creatures, but more often they are viewed as malevolent beasts of death and misfortune. According to legend, they live in opposition to the Thunderbirds, masters of the powers of the air. So kind of an interesting dynamic here with this one. I really like the modern take on it. I like how big the logo is. We don't typically see that in the NHL, but the reason I actually ranked this last is mainly for the cartooniness and expression of face around the mouth. In the eyes, the expression is intensity, it's horror, it's negativity. That's, you want to intimidate your opponent. So I like that. But on the bottom half of the face, I feel like it's a little bit too cartoony and flowing and stuff. But incredible drawing regardless. Like, this is last. Imagine what's to come, right? Incredible. Number 31, I put you can guess from the shoulder patch, the Carolina Hurricanes. All right, so here's the story behind this one. English settlers came to the remote Carolina lands only to vanish. Virginia Dare was the first English-born in the New World. She was raised by Croatian natives and was claimed by an old and powerful medicine man. However, since he couldn't have her, he transformed her into a white doe. As she grew, she was hunted and later killed. Strangely, her human body disappeared at the same time a white doe was seen bounding off into the forest. Kind of a neat story. I like the color choice on the sleeves, or the entire arm basically. Red shoulders, middle it's almost totally black, and then this kind of new stripe design going down the arm. So I really like that. That's probably my favorite part of this entire jersey. But again, it kind of goes back to the logo, and it's a little bit too soft, a little bit too cartoony. It's got the red eyes in there. It is a little creepy, But I'm going for super haunted here in this one since it's a bit of the theme. So what's next? Number 30, the Toronto Maple Leafs. So during the Battle of York in 1813, the first lighthouse keeper, J.P. Radmuller, again, apologize for pronunciation, kept watch at Gibraltar Point for enemy ships and friendly vessels, but he didn't live to see the end of the war. The story goes that he was murdered by 2 soldiers who had been enjoying some of his home-brewed beer. Kind of neat. I like the logo. I absolutely love the logo, actually. It almost looks like a bit of a tattoo kind of style. The shoulder patches are amazing. I think overall just the jersey is just a little bit too... Empty is not the right word because it's really not empty. It's just, maybe it's a lack of striping or something. I'm not sure, but it just kind of lacks something else going on, but the story is neat. Number 29, I put the Detroit Red Wings, and this is a pretty epic jersey. And the story behind this one is the Nain Rouge origins begin when Detroit's founder, Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac, was told by a fortune teller to appease the beast. Yet upon encountering the creature, he smacked it with his cane and shouted, "Get out of my way, you red imp." Consequently, a string of bad luck befell Cadillac. He was charged only to be imprisoned with his fortune lost. Each spring, the city hosts a community festival and costume parade called the March du Nain Rouge. And this is an actual thing. This happens in Detroit, which is pretty cool. I honestly love it. But at the same time, we already have a team called the Devils, and I see a devil. So strictly for that reason, I ranked it pretty low. But if we didn't have a team called the Devils already, this might be near the top. So, and I understand that the New Jersey Devils may not end up being this. You'll see it later on. So there's not going to be 2 Devils in here potentially. So, anyways, moving on. Number 28, the Vancouver Canucks. So just a quick one here. Lionsgate Bridge stretches over a once treacherous Vancouver harbor, the first Narrows, and gained its name from Lions Peak, a mountain range in proximity to the city. The logo is so wide it almost goes off to the side of the jersey, which isn't really a positive or a negative here, but I like the modernness of the logo. All these logos are incredible, like so well drawn, it's unreal. And I like it looks like a mane or hair coming off of this creature, but it also kind of symbolizes, or what I see is a bit of a mountaintop, like almost an avalanche happening at the same time, where there's some mountain stuff going on in there. So I think that's pretty neat. Again, just maybe a little bit too cartoony, a little bit soft. Number 27, this one's interesting. The Florida Panthers. Let's find what this one's all about. All right, so during the Prohibition, the private 13th floor suite of the Biltmore Hotel was the perfect place for speakeasy under the supervision of local mobsters, Edward Thomas, Fatty Welch, and Arthur Clark. Due to corrupt law enforcement, the hotel was never raided. However, after a heated argument, Edward dissolved his partnership with Fatty via a fatal gunshot. Fatty died right in front of the fireplace on the 13th floor. So this is, you see kind of movies with this styling in hotels and stuff. It feels very Miami, very like 70s or 60s or out of something like that. I kind of like the nostalgic vibes of this. I'm not sold on that brownish, like kind of gross gold color that's going on, but I like the rest of the jersey. It's different. It's bold. It's in your face. It's all over the place. So this one was pretty cool. Number 26, I put the Nashville Predators. Let's find that one. In 1817, John Bell and his family witnessed the apparition of a strange creature resembling a dog, an extraordinarily large bird, and a young girl in a green dress. Later known as Bell Witch, it claimed to be the spirit of Kate Batts, who believed she was cheated in a land purchase. On her deathbed, she vowed to haunt the Bell family. Over time, John Bell began experiencing paralysis in his mouth, but the story climaxes with the Bell patriarch being poisoned by the witch. So you can totally see the poison theme kind of going on here. Old school with the candles on top and the shoulder patch. This is busy along the bottom, like that pattern, almost like a wallpaper pattern, kind of in an old school house. So I like that. The font is cool on the side of the jersey. Yellow and blue always work well together. But the potion theme kind of on the poison rather theme kind of on the front is pretty neat. I like that. I like that a lot. Next up, the Edmonton Oilers. This one's pretty spooky. All right, and this one goes like this. The Wendigo is part of the traditional belief system of the of the Algonquin peoples. Common to all these cultures is the view that the Wendigo is a malevolent, cannibalistic, supernatural being. They're strongly associated with winter, the north, coldness, famine, and starvation. Whenever a Wendigo ate another person, it would grow in proportion to the meal it had just eaten, but it was never full. That's pretty creepy, actually. That's really creepy. The rest of the jersey is pretty simple, minus the incredible logo on the front. I mean, if you're a hockey team and you're going to go face this team and you see that on the jersey, I mean, that's pretty spooky. That's awesome. I really like the decision behind this one. Number 24, the Dallas Stars. Ooh, this one's cool. So in the 1800s, Texas was plagued with what was referred to as no man's land due to border dispute between the U.S. and Mexico. On top of the most wanted list was Vidal, a notorious cattle thief who relished life as a criminal. When Texan Rangers finally hunted down Vidal and his men, they were no longer content with just capturing him. They slaughtered the outlaws totally. So we got a bit of a headless horseman situation here, and I do apologize. I'm not familiar with a lot of lore and all this haunted stuff. That is not my wheelhouse at all, so I'm gonna get a lot of these names wrong. But this one's cool. I really like this one. The headless horseman on the front of the jersey looks amazing. The desaturated or almost hidden shoulder patches above there on the shoulders look great. The font makes sense. You still got the green in there for Dallas, so good job on this one, Marissa. Number 23, the Colorado Avalanche. Every April 5th and November 1st, a woman in a black Victorian-style dress visits the grave of John E. Cameron. However, nobody knows exactly who the woman or John Cameron is. So, bit of a mystery here, and you can see her on the shoulder patches here. The coloring here is fantastic. Marissa's gone from... She's changed the shade from a burgundy almost towards like a pink or something, or a purple in between, like pink and purple, something like that. So I like that quite a bit. The logo on the front is it's kind of neat. It's tough with those logos when you have a big mass of a logo and it's all incorporated into one blotch or something like that. That is more common. These ones here where you have a piece that's like off and then another piece that's off, and I'm always curious if I were to wear that, because I collect jerseys, if you can see in the back, how to wear that, because things would curl over one another and stuff. So a bit of a weird ranking, I guess, on my scope here, or thought process, but hey, that's the kind of stuff I think about. Number 22, the New York Islanders. So you guys will know this one for sure. The Omnivore Horror is a book by American author Jay Anson, published in September 1977. The book is claimed to be based on the paranormal experiences of the Lutz family, but has led to controversial and lawsuits over its truthfulness. There have been movies and shows and documentaries and all kinds of stuff on the Amityville Horror. So this one I am familiar with. Maybe I'm not pronouncing that right either, but anyway, this one's pretty cool. I like the gradient that's in there. We don't see that a lot. Vancouver has kind of come back with that with the reverse retro. Tampa Bay uses that as well on an alternate. The font is really cool here. It's dripping stuff. You got some outlined flies in here, some insects. So yeah, this one's pretty spooky. Number 21, the New York Rangers. This one's pretty short. The Raven is a narrative poem by American writer Edgar Allan Poe. This is it almost is a bit Montreal Canadiens like, because of the blue and the red and the white. It just feels, I don't know if it's the feathers that make me think of Canada or something like that, or I'm not sure, but I get Montreal vibes here, but it's neat. I like the crow, or the raven, sorry, in the middle. That whole kind of grungy style of what looks like the moon, or yeah, I'm assuming that's the moon. It's cool. I really like this one a lot, actually. Number 20, the San Jose Sharks. Ooh, I see some aliens on there. I'm gonna like this one. The blood albinos of Hicks Road are pale, ghostly beings who descend from the dark nothing upon unsuspecting travelers. Shrieking wraths with eyes of red, so dark that in the night time they could be nothing but black holes leading into an infinite universe of terror. That is creepy. Like, regardless of the story, that is creepy. It's not my favorite jersey design. I'm not sold on the shoulders. I like everything else. The logo is fantastic. That is just Man, that's creepy. I would not want to play against this team. Number 19, the Pittsburgh Penguins. So numerous reports dating back to the 1860s described a snake between 30 and 40 feet long that lives within the woods at Dead Man's Hollow. This is a very interesting jersey design. You've got Sidney Crosby's number up there on top, a very stylized font across. Pittsburgh has used that diagonal before. You can see it on the reverse retro and back to that 90s jersey. But she's gone here with a more of a horizontal approach, which I think looks okay. And the key piece of this jersey is that snake that runs along the bottom and then up both sides of the arm. Like, man, this is a strong jersey, just regardless of story, regardless of the NHL, just having a creature like that and being incorporated into a jersey, that's awesome. Number 18, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Jose Gaspar, also known by his nickname Gasparilla, is a Spanish pirate, the last of the Buccaneers, who is claimed to have roamed and plundered across the Gulf of Mexico and the Spanish Main from his base in southwest Florida. So we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's lots of pirate lore within Florida, so this one makes total sense. She's using a bit more of a bright or saturated blue, which is an interesting approach with the black. I actually like that. The logo on the front is phenomenal. Pirate there, or dead pirate, with the hockey sticks in the background. This one's awesome. X on the shoulders marks the treasure. I like it, Marissa. Number 17, the Washington Capitals. According to urban legend, the Goat Man. Man, the Goat Man, that's amazing. The Goat Man is an axe-wielding half-animal, half-man creature that was once a scientist who worked in the Beltsville Agricultural Research Center. He began attacking cars with an axe, roaming the back roads of Beltsville, Maryland. That's intense. This one's great. It kind of looks like Abe Lincoln a little bit. You got the striping in the flag in the bottom of the sleeves, which makes sense for Washington. You still got that Washington Capitals logo on the shoulder there. I really like this one. This one was low-key one of my favorite ones. Not overall my favorite story when I incorporated them into the rankings and stuff, but I really like this jersey. It's just different. Number 16, the Chicago Blackhawks. Graceland Cemetery is home to a statue named Eternal Silence. There are many legends surrounding the eerie obelisk, arguably the most famous being that upon looking into its eyes, a person could see the nature of their own death. Not the most menacing logo on the front, but it's still kind of creepy. Sometimes, like in movies, when you see little girls in dresses and stuff, and that's not scary, but just the fact that they're just standing there doing nothing, or they appear out of nowhere, it's creepy. And this has kind of that vibe. It's just it's a woman in a gown or a big robe, and you can just kind of see her face, and the story behind it makes it creepy. And I like the off-white approach here. It's not, we're not doing a red and white. We're doing off-white. There's a bit of a hint of a very desaturated green in her gown, and a different take on shoulder patches here. You get a bit of a design, but then the year underneath that, which is representative of the story, which is pretty cool. I really like the approach on this one. Number 15, the Minnesota Wild. Pepe, I don't know this one, tells of a large legendary lurker that lives in the shadowy depths of Lake Pepin by Lake City, Minnesota. This one is, like, just from a jersey perspective, it is so good. The patch on the shoulder looks to be the outline of Minnesota State, colorized using their kind of branding, which is great. The collar has almost a Letterman academic feel to it. The logo in the front is totally unique and awesome. But the best part for me is the upside down kind of trees that are on the arms, which come down from the stripe on the shoulders. Brilliant. I love it. Number 14, the Los Angeles Kings. She's got, you know them, you maybe love them, you maybe believe in them too. It's the Reptilians. There's this big controversy that there's a lot of politicians and all this stuff that they're actually reptilians. It's kind of a wild theory, but it's actually kind of crazy popular. We've got a bit of the all-seeing eye effect going on here, some triangles. The coloring is perfect, a throwback to kind of the LA colors when they originally entered the league. So I like this take on the LA Kings. The colors are perfect. The logo is phenomenal. I really, really like it. So good job, Marissa. Number 13, the Philadelphia Flyers. Eastern State Penitentiary was once the most famous and expensive prison in the world, with imposing gargoyles looming overhead along the exterior. Today, as it stands in ruin, a haunted word of crumbling cell blocks and empty guard towers remain. Ooh, this one's pretty creepy. Imagine how haunted that would be to gonna go in there. So I really like this one. The gargoyle on the front is perfect, and the chains are holding him around his arms are colored with that Philadelphia Flyers orange subtle shoulder patch. This is perfect. The balance of this one is amazing. Number 12, the St. Louis Blues. I mean, this one's pretty quick. It's the home of The Exorcist. What else is there to say? Look at the font. The font is so cool. You got the fleur-de-lis recolorized in the shoulder patch, and you got that Ouija board kind of style logo on the front when it's like just dripping the colors of St. Louis. It is, man, it's so good. It's so good. Number 11, the Montreal Canadiens. You guys may have seen this design in a previous contest, actually. It was used before, but the story is pretty cool, and I read it on there, and I'll kind of read it again. She may have reworded it, but let's see. The story of the werewolf goes something like this. A young man named Andre wants to become a hunter and trapper, and unknowingly apprentices with a man who's a werewolf. What's more, he's different than other werewolves in that he's able to change whenever he pleases, not just with the moon, and maintain his human intellect, making the werewolf, I can't say the name, so I'm just going to say werewolf, the perfect creature to scare children into listening. So this one's neat. I mean, that is boldly badass. You got a werewolf on there in the Montreal Canadiens colors with two, looks like knives or blades just crossed like that. That is intimidation. My favorite team. So I already like the colors. Classic logo on the shoulders. Good job. Number 10, the Arizona Coyotes. The Colossal Cave is the largest dry cave in Arizona with 3.5 miles or 5.6 kilometers of passages that served as routes and stashes for bandits and their gold. I really appreciate this one because when I was down in Vegas and toured around California and Arizona and stuff, the guy that I was traveling with, Luke, we actually decided to go to some of these, not the biggest one for sure, but we went to a cave which I think it took like an hour to walk through to the other end, and we started to go down it. It's on the channel. I've vlogged it if you want to go check it out. But it was a really cool experience. So I'm almost a bit emotionally connected to this one, and I like the jersey as well. It's very traditional Arizona Coyotes colors. But my favorite part here is, other than the logo on the front, which is amazing, is the shoulder patches. I like kind of that the night scene that's on there. That's just something a little bit different. So I like that one a lot. Number 9, the Anaheim Ducks. So El Adobe has been operated since 1948 and is in a building composed of 2 historic adobes near Mission San Juan Capistrano. The restaurant's wine cellar was once a courthouse and a jail. There are reports of a headless friar in front of the restaurant. I mean, that's pretty creepy, and I like the kind of angel effect that's going on here as well. A bit of a headless angel almost. The colors are perfect. I mean, the striping is unique. The numbers are cool. I really like this one. It's almost has a bit of a neon effect with the pinstriping kind of coming down. I guess not really pinstriping, but a thicker pinstriping. Number 8, the Calgary Flames. On the young couple's wedding day, the bride descended one of the hotel's marble staircases. Something startled her, causing her to slip and fall. Some say she caught her heel in the hem of her dress. Others say that her dress brushed up against a candle's flame, sealing her fate. This is amazing. It is so good. Look at the arms, the flames coming up the arms, the logo, which kind of just creates like just a fire engulfing her completely, but it makes the sea at the same time for Calgary. You can see her face in there. The numbers, oh, they're so good. I really, really like this one. Calgary Flame fans, I think, are going to like this one too. Number 7, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, or the Vegas Golden Knights. Founded in 1904 and dead by 1916, Rhyolite was one of several short-lived gold rush boom towns. In 1907, Rhyolite began to falter when the stock market fell, closing banks, businesses, and mines. In 1911, the mine closed. In 1916, the town went dark. Probably the most interesting are the 12 life-size disciples patterned after The Last Supper, built in 1984 by a Belgian artist, Albert Shukalski. They consist of empty flowing robes, making them appear to be ghosts. I love the spooky nature of this. The ghost with nothing inside of, he's just an emptiness inside, but he's still holding the form. He's got the sticks there. There's a bit of a gradient in the background, which feels like mist or smoke in the night. This one's great, Marissa. I really like this one. Number 6, the Seattle Kraken, an easy one. This one doesn't really require any kind of explanation. It's the Seattle Kraken. They're based on a mythical creature, on this crazy creature that lives in the ocean and comes up and devours ships and whatnot. Look at the logo. The logo is so good. It reminds me a bit of the whole jersey reminds me a bit of the Vegas Golden Knights reverse retro, kind of recolorized. In the Seattle Kraken colors, and it looks so good. I love the splash of red in there. It totally makes it. This is one of the best jerseys I've ever seen. Number 5, the Buffalo Sabres. The Gudelberg Cemetery is said to be a highly active buffalo cemetery. One of the most noted creatures are the hellhounds that allegedly roam the graves. So these aren't typical Buffalo Sabres colors, although they did have that that jersey that we all love, that we really want to come back. They did have that one. So it makes sense a little bit with the colors, but the Hellhounds, we're talking about red, we're talking about black, so this makes sense. This is one of the best primary logos on the front of a jersey I think I've ever seen. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. Numbers work, shoulder patches work. Big fan of this one. Number 4, the Boston Bruins. Again, you're probably going to know this one for sure. The Salem witch trials were a series of hearings and prosecutions of people accused of witchcraft in colonial Massachusetts between February 1692 and May 1693. More than 200 people were accused. 30 were found guilty, 19 of whom were executed by hanging, 14 women and 5 men. There are endless shows, movies, songs, art, culture based around this. This was a huge deal. So to have this represented in a jersey and be so well done like this is really applicable. It's so good. This was perfect. I wouldn't change anything about this. The shoulder patch with the B up there is great. It's stylized. The rope that kind of makes some of the pinstriping on the neck and along the bottom, and then that logo in the middle that has the rope from the hanging as well surrounding it. It's so good. I'm not a big fan of yellow and black together, but this is undeniably one of the best jersey concepts ever. Number 3, the New Jersey Devils. Remember when I said that? All right, so I tricked you guys a little bit earlier, but here we go. The legendary New Jersey Devil is a bipedal kangaroo / wyvern-like creature with a horse-goat head, leathery bat wings, horns, small cloven hooves, and a forked tail. It is often described as emitting a high-pitched, blood-curdling scream. So the New Jersey Devils, if they adopted this, look how intimidating and menacing and just morbid this logo is. And the gradient, it's just like it's a rising from hell or something. Man, it's so good. It's so good. Number 2, I put the Columbus Blue Jackets. So during the Civil War, the tavern entertained Union and Confederate soldiers. In 1859, the madam of the brothel, Frances Miller, shot and killed a drunk man trying to break into the establishment after hours. It is believed that due to this murder, the Blind Lady Tavern is haunted. Just this all the bottom is cool with the pattern and stuff. The top and the shoulders is really cool, but to me, that is a creepy logo. Like that really creeps me out. The blood just dripping down from the bandaged eyes like that. And the colors are perfect for Columbus. This one is it's different. The colors make sense. The logo is awesome. Wouldn't change a thing. And number 1, I have chosen the Winnipeg Jets. So Seven Oaks House is the oldest home in Winnipeg. It was built from 1851 to 1853, primarily of oak logs with a stone foundation. It is said to be haunted by several apparitions. And to me, this jersey has the perfect colors, kind of like the Seattle Kraken one. I love the Canadian aspect of this. I am Canadian, so I'm maybe a bit biased here, but the tree is cool. The colors are perfect. The striping and the design, just in general, how it's split from a lighter blue to a darker blue. But then you've got that pop of red, both on both colors with the patch, and then on the darker blue down here. So good. I really, really like this one. The colors for me totally make this. So Marissa, I have to applaud you for not only your research and interest in all of these stories and stuff, but your creation ability. Sorry, I had to pause there. I was thinking of a word. Your creation ability, your talent in design, creating these logos, or even if you didn't create these logos, sourcing them and incorporating them into these jersey designs, coming up with new jersey patterns and new, innovative ways to do striping and stuff that hasn't been done 1,000 times. And we've seen a ton of it in this video. So your concepts are some of the best concepts I've ever seen, regardless of story, regardless of team. Just your jersey design is really kind of a outside the box, and that's really refreshing, actually. So Marissa, I thank you so much for your efforts here. I will link your social media links down below in the description. If you guys want to check out more of her drawings and her work and stuff, I'm sure she's coming out with other stuff as well. So big round of applause to Marissa down below in the comment section for her work here, her story delivery, and just thinking outside the box. So hope you guys are having a great day. More jersey concepts to come. They will be NHL actually related though. If you want to save 10%, do this yourself, come up with some jersey designs, head on over to sportstemplates.net, use code post2post, and yeah, if you want to come up with some concepts and send them my way, be happy to look at them for you. Hope you guys are having a great day. Subscribe if you're not. Hit the like button if you really like this video, because it's pretty different. It's a longer video. Not really something I typically do, but if you like that kind of differentness of it, hit the like button. All right, guys, have a great day, and I'll catch you later. Adios.